Hi. Nice to meet with you today. How's your day going?
Pretty smooth actually. Pretty busy.
Yeah, it's pretty early in the week. Well, I guess it's not early in the week. I get my days mixed up, you know. Struggle.
Easy to
Feel
do.
that? Yeah. Before we get started, I just want to talk to you about a few things. Like, my agency is a college help agency, just open for college students to come in and with whatever they need. Like, we're going to hook you up with resources in that way. I will say I am a licensed social worker. I cannot counsel you in any way, but if you do need counseling at any point, like, I can give you a referral.
Okay.
Sorry, this weather is really getting to me lately. But at the end of this interview, I just hope to establish some goals for, you know, what's going on with your life. And then I also want to say whatever we talk about stays between us and it is confidential. And if you come up with any sort of abuse or neglect or any type of issues like that that you disclose to me, I do have to report it since I am licensed. But with all that being said, I'm going to be open and honest with you, and you return that to me, and then that's pretty much it. So, what brings you in today?
Okay, so I have a single mom. This is my third year in college. So I'm doing more things, I guess, on my own. So I'm trying to pay for school. I have 3 jobs right now. I'm also taking 15 hours of class, and I'm trying to pledge a social club. So, but I still have to have time for work because I'm paying for school. So trying to find a balance and all that. And my mom's trying to help me, but it's hard with only one parent income, and I don't get any money from FAFSA. So I'm just really worried about all of that.
Yeah, sounds like you have a lot on your plate. Like, there's just a lot going on in your life, and
Yeah.
15 hours is a lot. So what's your major right now?
Psychology.
Psychology? That's a really good major, and those seem to be some pretty tough classes, right?
Yes.
So
Lots
you
of
do have a
homework.
lot. And then it is pledging season, so you're in the middle, full force.
Right.
So what does a normal week look like?
So usually I go to class from 8:30 to 11:30 Monday through Friday, and then I go straight to work at noon, and I get off at 6. And then after work, I will either come home and work on homework, or I usually have something to do with pledging or one of my other 2 jobs. So I usually go from my full-time job to my part-time job.
Okay.
Yeah.
And are your jobs here on campus?
No, none of them are.
None of them are?
No.
All right. So do you have a lot of driving time to your jobs, or some of them?
Yes, my full-time job is across town, like way on the south side. And so it takes me about 30 minutes to get there every day.
What do you do there?
I work for a construction company, so I sit in the office and do the fun stuff with the clients.
Oh, that's nice. You're not outside.
No.
Not working on the roads.
No.
All right. What do you do on your other 2? And they're not on campus either?
No. I babysit regularly, about 3 times a week, and I work for a photo booth company, so I do different events, like mostly on the weekends, but sometimes we have one, like there's one tonight, so I'll have to work that.
Well, it sounds like not too stressing jobs.
Right.
You know, they're pretty light jobs. That's nice. And so, do you have any type of social activities that you go to outside of your club right now? Probably not.
No, not outside of club.
So, but do you feel like you have friends within your club and things like that?
Yes, I have made so many friends doing club, and they've really motivated me and helped me to find a balance, and whatever I need, I know that I can just text them and be like, hey, I'm not going to be able to grab this, can you get it for me, or whatever. Yeah.
That's good. That seems like you have a good group of friends around you, surrounding you, and supporting you. And do you live on campus?
I don't. I have an apartment.
You do?
Yes.
That's nice. So your living situation's pretty smooth and peaceful as well?
Yeah. There's a little trouble with my roommate, but it's nothing too bad. I'm not home a lot, so.
Oh, I understand that. Really busy. That's the fun thing about college. So, with all of this, say say, I'm gonna ask some strange questions here and it might be a little far out, but just go with me.
Okay.
So say tonight you go to bed, right, and a miracle happens, okay? Like it just, some of your problems are fixed, like your priorities are in line and your main problem is just like taken care of, and you wake up, what is the first thing that you notice that is different in your life?
Yeah, like, since I'm not home a lot, my room's kind of a disaster, like, all the time. And so, I think if a miracle happened, I would have more time to actually, I feel like that's part of self-care. So, I would have more time to take care of things around my apartment.
So you say self-care, do you have a lot of time for yourself to take care of yourself?
No.
Relaxing?
Not at all.
So that's a big one in college. Definitely a big problem. So what's another thing besides your room being clean? You walk out into the hall. You know what else is different?
That my roommate has picked up after herself.
General cleanliness.
Yes.
That's good.
That's a big thing for me. I like things to be nice and neat, and so when they're not, I feel like when my surroundings aren't nice and neat, it kind of makes me like off balance. So
that, I understand. I went through a little of that in college myself. So right now I'm seeing a lot of you're very busy, very stressed, but you're not completely falling apart yet. So let's get you hooked up to some resources before that does happen, because it will. So let's talk about some of these resources I have for you. This is a little handout that just will hook you up with some scholarships that are outside of the college, outside of the university. So you can just take a look at these and really maybe apply for some. There are some deadlines coming up, but apply for these, and maybe that could help, you know, with your financial. There are some living ones going on, so maybe apply for one or two of these, like try this week. And do you think that's a pretty doable thing?
Yeah, maybe a couple for this week.
Maybe just like one or two, you know,
Okay.
not a lot. And then I definitely see that you're trying to institute some self-care. So maybe at some point, you know, just take a little time for yourself. You know, let's try to do one or two things, and then here's a list of things that, you know, are good for self-care, and just take one or two things off this list, and you can try to like incorporate that into your daily life. You know, I can give you a website of how to really like keep up organizing. Like I'll write that down for you, like organize your room differently. So like there's different ways to do that, so I'll get you hooked up with that website as well, so you can just take a look at it.
Okay.
And hopefully that will take some of the stress load off of you if you need. If that helps at all, just let me know. We can meet next week, and then if it's not helping, we can get you hooked up with a counselor, somebody that can really talk through you with you and like find some underlying issues. But right now I just want you to kind of look at these resources, and maybe those are our one or two goals for this week, you know?
Okay, sounds good.
And then I'll email you, and we can meet up for a time next week and figure out what to do from there.
Okay.
Sounds good?
Yes.
All right. Well, you take care of yourself,
Thank
Maddie.
you.
And have a good day.
Thank you.
Really, go get some Starbucks or something.
I deserve it.
All right. Bye.